This is a poignant picture and a pretty silly hat for an intriguing speech title. You are probably vaguely curious, but somewhat uncomfortable. Maybe you're thinking this is going to be filled with potty humor. I'm not planning on it, but I may not be able to resist. Instead, you will have the sanctity of everything you hold dear ruined. If this bothers you, this would be a good time to go to the bathroom for about 6 minutes. If you stay and listen, you will learn how excrement is everywhere and how we have distanced ourselves from wastes which historically had many uses. I was raised in the suburbs where brightly lit stores were filled with pristinely packaged meat and washed, wax perfect fresh fruits and vegetables. It was a time when everyone had a Better Homes and Gardens exquisitely decorated house and perfectly manicured yard and garden, or at least wanted one. As a result, I used to think the world was pure and undefiled. While swimming in the ocean or a crystal clear mountain lake, I never thought that was where fish and other animals, well, peed and pooped. Because I didn't grow up on a farm, it was easy for me to think that rich soil was filled with uncontaminated nutrients rather than horse or cow manure, or better yet, worm excrement. Score points for me. I've ruined the ocean, lakes, ponds, rivers, any water source, and all soil. What's next? What about the other essentials of life? Food and drink. Let's look past the fact that all food is grown in poop-enriched soil. Have you considered what the critical ingredient in wine, beer, alcohol, and bread is? Yup, yeast, our favorite fun guy that makes it all possible. I love how we use sanitized words to describe how yeast helps us make alcohol in bread. We say it uses the products of the fermentation process. That's just a fancy way of saying that yeast eats sugars and excretes carbon dioxide and alcohol. That's right, folks. Whenever you're enjoying any of your favorite alcoholic drinks or eating any bread, you are eating yeast poop. Now that I've successfully ruined air, food, and drink, what about leather clothing, furniture, and wallets? Ah, the smell of real leather. Wonderful, isn't it? Did you know that part of the tanning process to transform animal skins into leather involved, and sometimes still involves, poop and urine? After the animal skin was washed of dirt and gore, it was soaked in lime and urine and scraped to remove the hair. To deline the hide, the skin was baited by dumping excrement and urine over it and massaging it for 3 or so hours with your feet. One recipe stated that 14 quarts of dog dung were to be used for every 4 dozen skins. Since the Industrial Revolution, tanners have figured out how to replace the odoriferous excrement with chemicals that mimic the pH and enzymatic qualities of dog dew. But many third world countries, like this tannery in Fez, Morocco, still do it the old way. That's why the fragrant centers for tanning are on the outskirts of town. In these places, the workers who handle the excrement and their dung gathering children are in the untouchables caste. Until the 20th century, urine was gathered in pots on street corners and in houses for use in softening leather, as we just mentioned, removing stains in laundry, and making gunpowder. You were truly poor if you didn't have a pot to piss in to sell to either the tanner or the laundry for a few pennies. Many laundries considered urine better than soap at washing clothes. Therefore, if you are desperate today to get rid of a stain, you might try peeing on it to get it clean. The Romans even taxed the urine gathered from public restrooms. During that time, urine was also used as a teeth whitener. Yum. Despite the urban myth, however, urine is not sterile. It is a waste product and filled with bacteria. That being said, it can be combined with manure, left to settle for 10 months, dried and ground, making saltpeter or potassium nitrate. Not such a simple process for making one of the 3 ingredients of gunpowder. It was so valued during the Revolutionary War, filled chamber pots would be collected door to door to make saltpeter. I hope I haven't completely ruined your life by making you realize that instead of living in a sanitary bubble, you are surrounded by and eating and drinking pee and poop all day. Consider this a public service announcement.